Part 1. The day the mill closed. I can still see it clearly. The steel mill closed its gates for the last time. That place fed our whole town. My dad worked there since he was a young man. He stood in front of the locked gate, holding his lunch pail, holding his last paycheck, just thinking. I asked him quietly, "Dad, what's going to happen now?" He looked down at me and said, "We'll be all right, son. We'll take it one day at a time." He didn't blame anyone. He didn't get angry. He simply moved forward. That was his way. Part 2. A man who kept going. The weeks after the mill shut down were tough. People lost jobs. Stores closed. Families moved away. But my dad never sat still. He shoveled snow for neighbors. He fixed old cars for a few dollars. He worked nights at the train yard, lifting heavy crates until his back ached. He woke up tired, went to bed tired, but he never stopped. Late at night, I'd hear him coughing, trying to hide it so we wouldn't worry. Still, every morning, he was up again, boots laced, coat on, ready to work. Part 3. The blizzard that froze the town. Then came the coldest night of that year. A huge storm hit us out of nowhere. Snow piled high. Wind shook the house. Around midnight, our power went out. The whole block went dark. Mom whispered, "Jack, the kids are freezing." Dad didn't even think twice. He pulled on his heavy coat and said, "David, come with me." We stepped outside into wind so strong, it felt like it could knock us down. Snow burned my face. I could barely see. But Dad walked forward, steady and strong. Part 4. Watching him fight the storm. We reached the power box behind the small grocery store. It was old, rusty, and covered in ice. Dad pulled it open with his bare hands. I heard him grunt as the metal cut into his skin. Inside, wires were broken and frozen. He looked at me. "This won't be easy, son. But if someone doesn't fix it, folks on this block will freeze." He told me to stand back, and I watched him work. His fingers were numb, his breath heavy, snow settling on his shoulders. But he kept going, slowly, carefully, refusing to stop. Then after almost an hour, pop, lights came on. House after house, warm yellow glows filled the street. I'll never forget the sight. Dad leaned against the metal box, exhausted, steam rising from his coat. He didn't think anyone saw him, but I did. And in that moment, he looked bigger than any man I'd ever known. Part 5. The price he paid. The next morning, Dad was sick. Really sick. He tried to hide it, but he could barely stand. His cough was deep and rough. He shivered even under blankets. Mom begged him, "Jack, please go to the hospital." But he shook his head. "We don't have the money. I'll be fine." He wasn't fine, but he smiled at us anyway. "Don't worry. We've made it through worse." Part 6. A talk I'll always remember. One night, his fever was so high that I was scared. He called me to his bed. "David," he whispered, "do you know what being a man really means?" I shook my head. He smiled weakly. "It means doing what needs to be done, even when you're scared. It means carrying the hard things so your family doesn't have to. And it means showing up, always showing up." He squeezed my hand. His grip was still strong. One day you'll understand. And he was right. Part 7, when he fell. A few days later, Dad tried to fix a broken step on our porch. He shouldn't have been out there. He was too sick, but he went anyway. And halfway through the job, he collapsed. I screamed his name and held his head in my lap. His voice was barely a whisper. "You're the man of the house. Until I get back." Then he closed his eyes. Part 8. A week in the hospital. He spent 7 long days in the hospital. Doctors said he was worn out, frozen, and fighting pneumonia. Neighbors brought food. The pastor came to pray with us. Mom stayed by his side every minute. And on the 7th morning, Dad opened his eyes. He smiled, a small, quiet smile, but it was real. He was getting better, slowly, but surely. Part 9, our block's quiet hero. When Dad came home, something amazing happened. Neighbors walked over to shake his hand. Kids waved from porch steps. Moms hugged him with tears in their eyes. Everyone said, "Thank you, Jack. You saved us." Dad would shake his head and say, "Didn't save anybody. Just fixed a fuse." That was him. A simple man. A humble man. A strong man. Part 10. What he taught me. Years later, when I had children of my own, I finally understood him. I asked, "Dad, why did you go out into that storm?" He said, "Because someone had to. And sometimes being a man means stepping forward when others step back." Then he added something I'll never forget. Strength isn't loud, David. It's quiet. It's steady. It's doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Ending the lights still shine. My father passed away 10 years ago. A small funeral. Simple. Peaceful. But sometimes, on cold winter nights, when the wind shakes the windows and snow piles against the porch, I feel him near. I walk through my warm house, look at my sleeping kids, and whisper, "Dad, the lights are still on," because he taught me how to keep them on, because he showed me what real strength looks like, because in that long ago winter, he became a giant in my eyes, and he still is.